is it? What could be so important that you have to interrupt my breakfast?
Agent Codename Movie Nerd. Your mission, whether you accept it or not, is to see the new Mission Impossible movie, Mission Impossible Fallout, in theaters and review it on your YouTube channel.
Okay, I think I can handle that. Is this message gonna self-destruct or something?
No, the message is not going to self-destruct, but if you don't hurry up, you're going to be late for the movie.
Oh shit, well then I better get going.
Yes, movie nerd, you must see this movie, and you must record a really kick-ass review. Make YouTube proud.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jared Poirier, and welcome to my movie review show where I talk about movies. Alright, so on last week's show, we did a review of Django Unchained, but on today's show, we're reviewing the new Mission Impossible movie, Mission Impossible Fallout. Alright, so when it comes to the Mission Impossible movies, I wouldn't say that I'm a gigantic fan of these films. Don't get me wrong, I tend to enjoy them every time that I see a Mission Impossible movie, but I'm not as into this franchise as, let's say, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight movies or the MCU. But that being said, I was pretty excited for this movie, and I had actually heard a lot of good things going in. So does this franchise deliver another adrenaline rush? Or is Tom Cruise getting a little bit too old for this? Let's find out. Alright, so this movie stars Tom Cruise, Henry Cavill, Rebecca Ferguson, Vanessa Kirby, Sean Harris, and Ving Rhames. And this movie is directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who has a lot more writing credits than directing credits, but he did direct Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Okay, so let's start with the good stuff here, and the first thing that we're going to cover is the performances. The standout performances for me are Tom, Vanessa, and Rebecca. Henry Cavill is okay in this, but I didn't really love his acting in this movie. I'll get into that a little bit more later. And of course, it was good to have Benji and Luther back this time around. They really add a feeling of camaraderie and friendship that this movie really needs. I also thought that the music overall in Mission Impossible Fallout was pretty well done. They utilized the classic Mission Impossible theme and kind of a remix or update, I guess, of the Mission Impossible theme at times. And I liked how during some of the action sequences, especially like the hand-to-hand fights, the music actually drops out entirely, and it really just lets the scene breathe and speak for itself. And yeah, I like that kind of thing. So overall, I didn't find that the music was too overbearing, and I actually thought that it complemented the film well. This movie also has a couple of interesting twists, or like fake-outs. I can't really talk to them too much without spoiling, but there's two pretty big kind of psych moments in this movie, and you guys will know them when you see them. When it comes to the pacing, well, for a 2.5-hour film, I thought that the pacing was pretty good. I didn't really find myself getting bored during the movie at all. There was a moment during like a super long action sequence that takes place in Paris that I kind of started to get a little bit of action fatigue though. But I think that this movie does a pretty good job of splicing up the action with some more suspenseful or dramatic moments that give you a little bit of time to take everything in and process all of the crazy stuff that's going on screen. Another thing that I really liked in this movie is how it utilizes on-location shooting. A lot of this movie is shot in Paris, and for me, since I very recently went to Paris, that really helped to ground the movie for me and helped to make it seem more real. There's an extended helicopter sequence in this movie as well that takes place in the Southern Alps of New Zealand. And yeah, just in general, I really appreciate it when filmmakers take the time to actually shoot on location rather than just get everything done on like a studio backlot or just shoot it in studio and green screen it in later. Okay guys, so we've reached the last category in the good section here, and you guys know where it is. You guys know that I'm gonna have to praise the stunts in Mission Impossible Fallout. The stunt work in this movie is fantastic. This movie has, hands down, the best stunts that I've seen in any movie so far this year. These stunts are amazingly choreographed. They're really creatively shot, and there's just such a good variety of stunts. You've got people jumping out of airplanes, you've got helicopters chasing each other around, you've got motorbikes, you've got hand-to-hand fights. Yeah, just a massive variety of action scenes in this movie. And honestly, like him or not, you really have to give credit to Tom Cruise here because he puts his body on the line for these stunts, and honestly, I think he does do it to entertain the audience. In this movie alone, Tom Cruise flies a helicopter, he jumps across buildings where he actually broke his ankle, and he actually jumped out of an airplane 106 times in order for them to get the footage that they needed. But yeah, guys, I really can't praise the action in this movie enough. whatever word you want to use for it. Outstanding, fantastic, groundbreaking, all of those adjectives apply. Like towards the end of the movie, you see these two helicopters that are parked next to each other, and you just know that the movie is saying, hey, we got one more for you. Let me just say, guys, even with the action scenes in this movie alone, you will get your money's worth. Okay, so now unfortunately, it's time to stop praising this movie and get into some of the bad stuff. There is some kind of romantic side plot stuff in this movie. It's been my least favorite part of all the other Mission Impossible movies when they do the romantic stuff. There's a bit of that in this movie, and I don't buy it at all. In addition, as I mentioned before, I did not find Henry Cavill really strong in this movie. I'm starting to worry that this guy just isn't that good an actor, guys. I mean, after like Justice League and those DC movies, I was kind of like, maybe it's not his fault. Maybe it's just the production around him that's not that great. But with Fallout here, this seemed to have been a pretty good production. And I don't think that Henry Cavill really delivered that captivating a performance, to be honest. Another thing is that this movie really goes out of its way to praise Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise character. Talks a lot about how he is so great, how he's such an awesome bloke. And yeah, that just gets a little bit heavy-handed. The Tom Cruise praising in this film is a little bit of a turnoff. And the final thing that I want to criticize in this movie, that's definitely the plot. The plot in this movie is okay, and as I said, there are some twists, there are a couple surprises, but overall, guys, this is the same reused Mission Impossible plot that we've seen like, 6 times now? So yeah, plot could be better, but awesome movie. Alright, so now it's time for my final thoughts on Mission Impossible Fallout. So overall, I really enjoyed Mission Impossible Fallout. As I said, I think that I really got my money's worth with this one. There's good acting, good characters, good music. The movie's pretty well paced. I really enjoyed all of the on-location shooting. And of course, guys, the action scenes in this movie. They are just spectacular. So yeah, guys, go see Mission Impossible Fallout in theaters. Maybe even see it in IMAX. You are really going to enjoy the action scenes, but just know that it has kind of a crappy recycled plot. Alright, so I want to hear from you guys, and let me know down in the comments, what did you guys think about Mission Impossible Fallout, and what are some of your favorite actors that do their own stunts? But yeah, that's going to be it for now. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time.
Alright, so we're doing the good YouTuber shout out, and today we're shouting out Jared Buckendall. So Jared Buckendall has a really awesome movie review channel up on YouTube. And of course Jared does some really great movie reviews, but the reason why I love his channel the most is because Jared puts a lot of work into creating really funny skits for his channel. And that's something that's really inspired me, so I've started to try to include more skits in my videos as well. So don't forget to check out Jared Buckendall, and I'll see you guys next time.